Must have picked up some sauce.
То. Ничего ты не учуял. Что это тут такое?
Creeping little flies. The power recoils from your attack. It clearly wasn't expecting any resistance. You can feel it trying to maintain control on the dwarves' minds, but it's slipping. The eyes of the dwarves, once a solid black, clear for a moment. They look about in confusion, in panic, and then race for the bushes.
On the cliffs. Ambush.
Мертвый гном. Эх. А, тут мы могли пройти. А тут можно ли как-то... А, вот тут можно. Ничего нету. Плохо. Знаю. Точно. Два белых гриба. Я ожидал увидеть клад. В секрете какой-нибудь. Ну ладно. Вот, теперь у тебя есть лежанка. Огонь. Огонь. Лежанки это хорошо. Так, Сибила, это, наверное, тебе пойдет. Да. Это пойдет тебе. Рыбная кость, рыбная кость. Оп. Ключ какой-то, понятно. Оп. Лутать. Ну, такое. Я ждал чего-нибудь получше. Как же долго. Так, белогриб не будем брать уже лежанку. Так, тут мы все пролутали и... Гном.
I swear, I should have expected nothing less. They wander across a tragedy, and how do they spend their time? Gawking at the dead like they're nothing more than a sack of cloth and flesh to be looted. Bloody parasite. Wait, can you see me? Elves, teeth. How'd you manage that?
The dwarf's eyes narrow, and he squares his shoulders. His hand seems to instinctively drop to his waist.
That a fact. And here I thought our darling Bishop Alexander was the only one. So God-woken and powerful, eh? Powerful enough to control minds? To force brothers to draw steel against each other?
The dwarf nods grimly. After a long moment, he swallows and starts to speak.
We were doing some work round these parts. Smuggling, stealing, removing the odd witness. You know, bread and butter stuff. We were sitting here, eating, drinking, telling tales. When some of the lads, their eyes turned black as pitch. Next thing I know, my best mate's buried his dagger in my gut, and there's void woken everywhere you look. Them that didn't die were carried off to the cave. Might be I was the lucky one, lying there, bleeding out. Heh, was the day I'd have to cut you just for asking. Don't suppose it makes much of a difference now. The cave was our base, where we wrecked, smuggled and stored the loot. The entrance is through the ruins over yonder, for all the good it'll do you. Might be swarming with void woken by now. Huh, kind words. But there ain't none that'll undo what we saw. Most we can hope for now is some peace in the hall.
Угу. Очень интересно. И наконец-таки мы можем пойти и посмотреть, что там было в этом караване. Среди трупов. Какие были трупики, что они нам расскажут. Кстати, если мы сюда подойдем, будет кто мертвый? Да, ты смотри. Круто.
The spirit floats in front of you, his eyes unfocused and darting from side to side. Looking down at his mangled corpse at your feet, you see that the front is relatively unmarked, but his back has been eviscerated. Long, jagged cuts run the length of his torso. The spirit's eyes move in your direction, trying to focus, but he seems to look right through you.
A voice. Oh, I can still hear it in the dark. I can hear it whispering. He won't stop. His voice was everywhere. It danced with the screams. Insects with a dwarf's tongue. They came from above. They laughed as they cut us down.
The spirit doubles up, raking his hands across his face, ghostly nails cutting deep into spectral skin.
No, I can hear it. Not the echoes. I can hear it. The voice. It's here.
The spirit shudders and cries, tears running down his cheeks.
Oh, Divine Lucian, protect me. You seven ancient gods, please. Don't let it get me.
The spirit's eyes dart left and right. It reaches tentatively a hand out for a moment, but thinks better of it and turns away.
Ну, на момент мне показалось, что сейчас будет еще одна драка.
Step back at once. History is written by victors. Do not doubt our divine order will prevail. I'll show you.
The bull lazily chews non-existent card. It registers your presence.
Well, guess I should have seen that coming. Yep, sure do. Or did, leastways. All bulls can see the future. I'm surprised you don't know that. Well, that's nice of you. It's not so bad so far. Sure don't miss pulling wagons. You sure you want to know? Alright. Here is your future.
The bull shakes itself, swallows the card, clears its throat.
You're gonna die. Let me think about that now too. Yeah. Okay.
По-моему, этот бык пиздобол.
Soon.
Угу.
Maybe.
Может быть. Угу.
The
Понятно.
bull shrugs.
Here. I don't suppose you could do me a favour and unhitch this here harness so as I can make my way to the field of echoes.
The bull nods its thanks and gently fades away.
I knew you'd say yes.
Нафиг этого быка.
Doubled over in agony, the shivering Magister spirit mumbles to himself, tightly clutching 3 golden stalks in one fist. Noting the attention, he straightens, revealing insignia spelling Kinnet, and a jagged wound spilling his innards upon the ground. He reaches a ghostly hand into your chest and squeezes your heart. You become Kinnet, his memories flooding over you and replacing your own. Warmth, comfort. You are Kinnet, playing cards with your mates in a cozy barracks. You stagger to tipsy attention as a white-clad magister commands that one of your troop seek a lost caravan. It's a one-man job, a job no man wants. Your sly-eyed troop leader holds out straws to you and the others. Who? You feel the short straw and hear them shout, "Kinnet!" You know what that means. A lonely traipse in the cold dark. You dawdle and grumble all the way, sobering as you find the overturned caravan. Massacre. Your lantern reveals ravaged corpses in every direction. Inhaling sharply, you smell a thick black stench you remember secondhand from the few void-woken corpses your troops have found. No. Kinnet's tears fall from your eyes as you recognize his beloved weapon master, lifeless. A dark thicket rustles to your left. A claw rakes savage stripes across your guts. As Kinnet dies, all goes black. Staggering back from Kinnet's deathly grasp, only your own blood now pumps through your heart. With your living eyes, you see him trembling in front of you, desperately holding out 3 straws. As your source flows into Kinnet, the straws in his hands disappear. He weeps with relief as his wound disappears in turn, and he is restored to the model image of a strapping young soldier. He looks around, then looks at you, and then he smiles. Smiling broadly, Kinnet fades away.
Хорошо.
The spirits of a magister and a dwarf are locked in ethereal combat. Their vicious blows make no impact, yet they struggle on. Mid-snarl, the dwarf spies your presence and staggers back to address you.
Sorcerer! You must hate the Reds as much as I do, eh? Rightly so. Reds had sorcerers locked up tight in that caravan, and you know where they were sending them.
The magister lunges for the dwarf, his exasperation clear.
Anna, you saw it with your own eyes. You know sorcerer's law, Voidwoken, and you know we'd all still be alive if you hadn't attacked our caravan. Before it all, Voidwoken stole the sorcerers along the cliffs, headed for Seven knows where.
Not to flip your flops or nothing, but 'tis more that my boss Lohar is against magisters than for sorcerers, if you know what I mean.
The magister snorts in disdain.
Lohar, I should have known. Sorcerer, if you want to stay alive around these parts, you'll stay far, far away from that walking vermin. Though, on the other hand, maybe you should go stand near him. Maybe the Voidwoken could take him out where we failed. Ha!
The dwarf eyes you steadily and silently, his mouth a straight line and his eyes like marbles of steel. The magister shrugs.
Well, if I knew that, we'd have taken him out long ago. All I can say is, he's somewhere in Driftwood, and everything he touches turns into annihilation.
И это все понятно. Да я ожидал, что тут заруба сейчас будет, ну ладно. Кстати, а тут есть кто-нибудь? Он, наверное, мы на карте видели. Так. Куры, куры, куры. Мок, мок, мок. Так.
Yes, yes, you look just the type. Egg thief. I knew it. I found the culprit. Tell that to Big Marge, if you dare.
Блять, во что я вляпался? Большая марш. Где она? Маленький триф. Вот она, да.
I saw. They were stolen. The babies, the eggs, something took them. Big as a cow, big as a house, and many legs. Too many. Horror, thief, horrible thief. It came in the It scrambled away fast, fast, fast. If I showed you, you could bring them back. Ah! You could bring them back. Map, show me your map.
In a flurry of feathers, she leaps up and pecks a small hole in your map.
That's where they are. I went after my babies. I saw where they went, but they've changed so much. Bring them back.
Да. Но детишек мы сейчас не пойдем вызволять. Опаньки. Здравствуйте.
The shimmering ghost of a lizard magister turns her gaze upon you. She holds your stare, boring into your mind, searching the blacks of your eyes for the secrets of your soul. But in so doing, she shows you hers. You are Zeushan, a young lizard magister, devoted to the order. More than this, you are in love with a comrade, a human man of wit and kindness and sweet disposition, who goes by the name of Boris. You are Zeushan once more. Alexander dies. Worse, your human comrades look at you askance, as if his murder was your fault. Even Boris turns against you. When he's posted to Fort Joy, he does not say goodbye. Your heart is broken. Posted to the graveyard shift in the dark of night on the outskirts of town, you do your duty diligently. But your heart is no longer in it. So when you catch a couple of young sorcerers fleeing Raymond's net, you see how deeply in love they are. You do not turn them in. You help them to escape. But in the morning, they are caught and under torture give you up. They go to Fort Joy. You are hanged right here.
Печально. Но такова судьба. Что это такое тут? Попозже зайдем как-нибудь.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. A shame. Everyone's got a melody in 'em. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he were a wee thing. Now he's got the voice of an angel. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laszlo, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother. Stole me heart. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Useful? Ah, you mean deadly. Used to make bows and fletch arrows, but left that hobby behind. There's no shortage of suffering, that's for sure. Come back later then. I need a bit of time to carve something useful.
Ладно, вернемся к ней чуть позже. Так, чуть позже прошло.
Hello.
Понятно.
Use the best wood I can find. Good rosewood ain't too common, but lutes make... I like playing too. Shame to you.
Так, пойдем дальше. Печь. Но мне нечего в печи делать. Они меня так выебут сейчас, если я к ним пойду. Это я помню.
Ugh, mating season. Again. If I have to deal with one more buck looking to court me, I'll take...
Зайка затрахал. Против отца. Это мы читали. 10 новых рецептов. Огонь, огонь. Ух ты. Квак. А, в них можно покрафтить. А у меня ничего пустого. Ну вот, да. Где он у меня еще должен быть один? Вот он. 2 интеллекта. Ну, слушай, неплохо, неплохо. Так, что тут у нас еще есть? Ага. О. О.
The spirit doesn't register your presence at all. She wrings her hand as she looks down on her poor, crushed corpse.
Should have paid. Should have paid. Always pay. Mama said, can't fool a troll. Got to pay the...
Quercus, that squirrel. Is...
Oh, hello there. A fine day it is, and the finest day for a wee saunter through the trees it is too. Oh, just the best. Just the bee's knees, really. I've made more money today than in the last month combined, thanks to a group of magisters who were in such a hurry they didn't have time to haggle. Some sorcerer who fled by earlier, and she paid a handsome toll too. Glory, what a marvellous day. Whoa, not so fast. I do try to be nice about it and all that. But this bridge is Marge's business. Since it is such a fine day, I can let you pass at a discount if you entertain me with tales of valiant void-woken battle. Otherwise, full price.
По полной цене 3. Историями о славных битвах. Угу.
Resting his kindly face on steepled fingers, Marge eagerly awaits your tale. Wide-eyed, Marge nods in appreciation at your tale.
Now that is a story. For that, you can pass for a pittance. Over you go, and be sure to appreciate.
Что? Я ему что-то отдал.
Life is
Ладно, мне показалось. Белочка, понятно. Достаточно все интересно. Блин, сколько тут всего. Какая огромная карта. Я думаю, нам надо вернуться. Пещера королевы крушения. Я думаю, нам надо вернуться и квестов в Дрифтфуде поделать. Я бы этим с удовольствием бы занялся. Так. Что у нас? 44, нормально. Жить можно. Так, пойдем сначала сюда.
I've enough strife trying to earn a bit of coin without having the likes of you eyeballing me as well.
That's it. The barrel and the chests. On the double.
Кстати, а ну-ка, он же у нас типа как бы вор. Ты можешь обокрасить. Рили? Краденая. А теперь краденое еще. Это интересненько. Так, не плати на свет, понятно.
You'd swear the shark was smiling at you.
Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
Нормально.
The Magister stops barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because...
He licks his lips.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. Oh, no, that won't do at all. Innocence is a mask that doesn't fit you. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
Та-та! Повезло.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. No doubt a trustee of Dallas is champing at the bit to see some action. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters, but they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course, I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders, same as you.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing.
The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows I pass on to you. The time has come, my stitched-lit lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Blah.
Так, с разрешения его чести белого магистра Реймонда, с благословения дали десницы епископа, с почтением к Александру, сыну почтившего божественного. Сей пропуск открывает обладателю проход и доступ к сведениям, необходимым для исполнения приказов божественного ордена. У подателя сего запрещается просить другие документы. Неплохо. Опа. Карту тоже возьмем. Так. Так, некромантия и стойкость. Это... Пока нет, наверное.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You, the so-called friend of Dallas. I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Yes, I am very much aware. Wasn't my damned head that hit the floor back there. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the Bishop's bones, you saw it? Out with it, man. What happened? Voidwoken. That means Source was used. Which means some third party must have attacked first. And I've a fair idea who that might have been. Raymond, that old goat. Always suspected there's more to the Driftwood Dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen.
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working in behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure. And hard workers, too. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely. A tyrant in that case. Go forth.
Да, вот это прям притесняют гномов. Это прям жестко. Так. Давайте сюда, наверное, сходим, посмотрим, что тут. Тут казарма.
Her Munificence Dallas the Hammer.
А, мы уже это читали.
The poster flutters lightly in the breeze.
Let her cower on that ship of hers and be glad the water's too foul for me to swim.
No news here. Everyone wants a piece of me.
She seems to be out for...
Минуточку.
Her munificence Dallas the Hammer,
Dallas,
scourge of the Voidwoken, and in her capacity as the titular head of our beloved Lucian's divine order, hereby layeth bounty upon the fell sorcerer murderers of Alexander, Bishop Divine. She, or he, or it, who may count upon the hammer's most benign, and hail to the hammer 7 times.
Occupied! Oh, unholy hells! Do I sound like I'm alright? It's what I get. Bloody tainted stew! Made us a little fish into some of my stew. Save me, Lucian! Oh, leave me!
I'll stay out of there, thanks.
Why the devil is this stall out in the open?
Опа-на, здравствуйте. Такое вообще.
I've spotted something.
Опа. Вот что-то такое я и искал, да. Скелет кошки. Все тут понятно. Кошка пришла пожрать, они взяли и убили ее. Дело раскрыто.
Well, ain't you a tall drink of tallness? What can I do for you, honey?
She fluffs them and coos.
You're so very, very sweet to notice, honey. Ain't easy keeping him so nice in a dusty town like this. Sure, why not? Not all of them hatch, you know. And between you and me, honey, I don't mind the taste of an omelette now and again. Go on and scoot then.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Oh, you want a list? I've got eggs to lay, grass to tidy, grain to clear, and majesty.
Что за яичко мне да? А, обычное яйцо, тогда такое неинтересно. Фокус. Кто такой?
The cat stares up at you. Its midnight black pupils are too prominent for you to discern the color of its glazed eyes.
8 lives already gone, but I'd gladly lose the last if you can throw me a fish. One of those smelly kind. But I need 'em. So yummy. They taste like shadows and spoiled cream, and turn the air dark. Oh, it feels so beautiful against my fur, like being caressed by black cotton.
The cat's belly grumbles as he prepares to scarf down the fish. It isn't likely to be a graceful sight. The cat looks up at you and gives you a groggy meow.
Maybe I should stick to the good stuff for a while. But I'll miss the shadow.
He pokes his nose at your map, leaving a wet spot.
I think you'll find something interesting there. Found me some goodies during life number 6.
Угу. Спасибо. Неплохо. Так, это у нас что?
Once, this was a tavern, or a hotel,
Или
or a
бордель.
brothel.
Come on.